Today's video is crazy. I've dug up some of the most messed up, personal, shocking Reddit confessions I could find. These aren't just your average confessions. These are secrets people carry in silence. Stuff they probably wouldn't even tell their best friends. We're talking about obsession, betrayal, lies, and maybe even a crime or two. Let's get into it. Confession 1. My brother doesn't know I'm in love with his wife. He says, I'll never say it out loud, but in another life, maybe. So our first confession comes from a guy who's been carrying something pretty disturbing. He says he's in love, not just a crush, full on obsessed with his brother's wife. He writes, I'm obsessed with my brother's wife. I know it's wrong, but she's perfect. She makes me feel things no one has ever made me feel before. Apparently it started off innocently. They got along well, shared jokes, had a similar sense of humor. But over the years, he says the feelings grew. He started looking forward to family events just to see her. He memorized her laugh, her perfume, even the way she eats. And here's where it gets darker. He kept a hidden folder on his phone with candid pictures of her. Not inappropriate, but definitely not okay. He says just looking at her made him feel calm, but he never told her. He never made a move. Instead, he kept the feelings bottled up for 5 whole years. His brother is totally unaware. He's now dating someone else, but he says he still dreams about his sister-in-law. Dude, that's heavy. Honestly, I feel bad for him, but that's a line you do not want to cross. It's one of those feelings you bury deep down and never let them surface up. Confession 2. I replaced my sister's medication. She says, I didn't think anxiety was real. I thought she was faking it. This one's straight up dangerous. A woman confessed that when she was 15, she replaced her sister's anxiety meds with sugar pills. Why? Because she didn't believe mental illness was real. She writes, I was convinced my sister was lying to get attention, so I dumped out her meds and swapped them with breath mints. I thought I was doing everyone a favor. She was jealous. Her sister got more attention from their parents, got excused from chores, and she thought the whole thing was fake, so she took the pills, dumped them, and replaced them with mints that looked similar. Within a week, her sister had a breakdown. It got so bad that she had to be hospitalized. The doctors couldn't find out what was happening. Meanwhile, the confessor just watched. Years later, she says she's grown up now and feels sick about it. Her sister still doesn't know. Wow, honestly, that's terrifying. That's not just a bad decision, that's evil. You're talking about playing with someone's health, their mind. All for some petty jealousy? That's the kind of story that stays with you. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, because I'm gonna be posting a video every single day. Let's continue with confession 3. I let my friend get hit. This person says, I ruined his life because I thought I was being funny. A man wrote saying that as a teenager, he used to walk to school every day with a friend. One day they were goofing around near a busy road. His friend was balancing along the curb when the confessor jokingly shoved him. He writes, it was supposed to be a joke, just a little nudge, but he slipped and there was a car and it didn't stop. Unfortunately, the friend was hit, severely injured, and ended up in a coma for months. The confessor never admitted that he touched him. Everyone thought it was just an accident. To this day, his friend has permanent brain damage. Oh my god, he says he's still friends with him and he helps take care of him, but he's never told anyone the truth. Wow guys, that's one of those things you carry forever, even if no one ever finds out, you know, and that's enough to haunt you for the rest of your life. Confession 4. I watched my cousin vanish. Wow, just the title scares me. Okay, so this person said, I visited the site twice since. It's sealed now, but I still hear him sometimes when I'm trying to sleep. A guy wrote that when he was 12, he and his cousin were exploring an old construction site. It was dangerous, signs everywhere telling them to stay out. But of course, they were bored kids. He says, we found this pit covered in wooden planks. He started jumping on it like a trampoline, then it cracked, and then he was just gone. He fell deep. And the confessor panicked. He ran home, said nothing, and never told anyone what happened. And the family, They thought that the cousin had run away, and tragically it became a cold case, but he knows exactly where he disappeared. This is like a horror movie. That's terrifying and heartbreaking. He was a kid, sure, but imagine living with that silence for the rest of your life. Confession 5. I replaced my dead dad's will. This person said he owed me more than he gave me. Oof, wow, this one is cold. A guy admitted that after his dad passed away, he secretly destroyed the real will and replaced it with a fake one. He writes, he was always stingy with me. When I found out he left most of it to charity, I snapped. I made a new will and burned the real one. The real will, it left most of my inheritance to charity. The fake one gave everything to him and a small cut to his siblings. And guess what? He got away with it. No one questioned it. His siblings thanked him for handling everything. He bought a house, started a business, all on money his father never meant for him to have. He says he thought he'd feel guilty, but he doesn't. Not even a little. Man, that's pure betrayal. That's the kind of thing you see in movies, not real life. Except it is. And what scares me the most is that no one will ever know. Guys, stick around till the end because these stories are just gonna get crazier and crazier. Confession 6. I secretly framed my classmate. This person says he was just smarter than me, that's all. So this next one is a story of jealousy turned evil. A girl confessed she once framed a classmate in high school for cheating on an exam. She writes, he always had top grades. Teachers loved him and it annoyed me because I worked just as hard. One day I saw him leave his backpack unattended, so I slipped in a cheat sheet. When the test came back, the teacher found the sheet. The classmate was suspended. His college recommendation was revoked. Years later, she still hasn't told anyone. She says he never really recovered from that. He went from being the best in the class to barely passing. I took his future away from him just because I couldn't handle being second best. You see, this is a chilling reminder that not all sabotage is physical, and that scars left behind can be just as deep. Confession 7. I left my friend in the desert. What even is this title? This person says he was slowing me down. I thought he'd catch up. A guy wrote about a road trip that went horribly wrong. He and a friend went hiking in the desert, but when his friend injured his ankle, he panicked. He writes, we were far from the car. I didn't want to carry him. I didn't even want to wait. I told him I'd go get help and came back, but I never did. He drove off and blocked his number. His friend was found 2 days later by the search and rescue, barely alive. What? He claims he felt trapped, didn't know what to do, but let's be honest, that's a coward, plain and simple. And that kind of betrayal, it doesn't fade. He should be put in jail, in fact. Who leaves their friend behind in the desert, with no water, with nothing? This guy's crazy. Confession 8. I switched the baby at the hospital. Wow. Okay. These stories are getting really crazy, guys. This person says, I just wanted someone to feel what it felt like. This is probably one of the darkest stories on the list. A nurse admitted that after losing her own child during delivery, she swapped 2 newborns at the hospital. She writes, I was in so much pain. I saw 2 babies in the nursery. One was born to a teenage girl who didn't even want the baby. The other was to a loving couple. I made the switch. To this day, she says no one knows. The babies are teens now, living completely different lives. This is so messed up, guys. Tell me in the comments what this makes you feel. I mean, there are no words to describe this. This is irreversible. That's a lifetime of an identity that's been stolen and no one even realizes. Imagine finding out that as a kid you were switched and it was intentional. I would flip. I don't know what I would do. This is just really messed up. Confession 9. I faked my kidnapping. The quote says, I just needed a break from everything. So, a college student wrote she staged her own disappearance. Okay, that's insane. She says, I told my roommate I was going home. Then I ditched my phone and hid out in a motel 2 towns over. I watched the search party on the news. My parents were crying. My school posted flyers. After 3 days, she showed up claiming she'd been taken but escaped. She says the guilt eats her alive now. But at that time, she just wanted someone to notice her, to care. You know what, guys? I think a lot of people are lonely these days and they just want to be noticed. They feel someone needs to give them attention and they do anything just to feel as if someone's giving them attention. And it's incredibly insane how far some people would go for that. I mean, we have some people doing some crazy stuff, and this is one of the crazier ones that I've heard of. I mean, it's sad, it really is, but at the same time, that kind of lie causes real trauma, and the trust she's broken probably will never come back. Confession 10. I got someone deported. This person says she was getting too close to him. I had to do something. Ooh, is this about love? What is this going to be about? Let's read. A woman wrote that she was secretly in love with her best friend, and when his new girlfriend entered the picture, she got jealous. The girl was undocumented. She writes, I called immigration anonymously. I gave them everything I knew, and a week later, she was gone. Her best friend was devastated. He still talks about her. He still thinks she was just caught. She says she hates herself, but she doesn't regret it. Wow. Talk about toxic, guys. That's next level manipulation. Cold, calculated, and entirely selfish. I mean, these stories are heavy. Some of them are evil. Some are heartbreaking, but all of them remind us of how complicated and how dark people can be. Thanks for listening. Let me know which story hit you the hardest down in the comments. And if you have your own story, even anonymously, I'm all ears. Thank you for watching.